1, 2, 3 down there.
Right guys, good morning. Welcome back to the channel. New day at North Wyke. Look at this blue sky, sunshine. It was about -4 or 5 this morning when we started, but yeah, it's going to be a very nice day. Sunlight, bit of warmth, get all the hopefully get the grass moving, get the ground drying up a bit. What are we doing today? Well, got my tractor here, the 155.
John is in the telehandler and he is going to tip a bucket full of barley in this trailer. Yeah, no pressure. Yeah, wait for the dust to settle.
So we store the barley here at the home farm in our grain store that Phil uses over for the cattle at Rowden. We got the big shed to put it in, keeps it all dry and fresh for when he wants it, and then we take this little trailer over as and when he needs it.
You can put a little bit more in.
We also keep the sugar beet here in bulk and the distiller's grains. It's cheaper to buy them in bulk rather than bags. And we've got the shed here that hasn't got any grain in it over the winter because we sold it all before. So it makes sense to do it that way.
So I'm going to take over the barley.
And then I'm going to pick up some silage. We're going to do a return trip with some platform silage for the sheep. Bring that back, tip it out, and then we're going to take some distiller's grains over and come back with another load of silage.
Big loads only.
So yeah, it's a bit of a mucking about day, but we'll explain what's happening as we're going. You can have a look around the other farm at Rowden when we get there, because I'm well aware I don't do much work there, and a lot of you guys that have subscribed recently haven't seen Rowden, so we'll give you a bit of a tour of Rowden. And yeah, I hope you enjoy the video. Right, let's get in the tractor. Step plates, if you haven't seen them, from Aggregates. Tom Lee, he's coming back at some point to do our mirror guards. He's getting them all sorted out. It's been a minute since we've been in the tractor. Don't tend to drive this one much over the winter. Give it some time off if we can. Don't like to put it, well, it has been on the wagon. Right. Now I am going to dribble a bit of barley. But anyway, let's head over to Rowden. Let's try and find ourselves a dock. I think he's out the back. Woo! Fueling up tractors, but this is Rowden. So, what we call our science farm. We've got a sort of a handling facility over there where we weigh the animals and TB test and do anything we need to. This
is Phil's wagon that he beds and feeds with every day. So it's the Lucas Spiromix Combi. So it's got the blower on the front for straw, and it's got the tub for mixing up silage or whatever. And it's on the 130M, which could do with a clean, but it'll be cleaned up after winter when he comes home. So Phil sort of mans this by himself during the week. Takes him a couple of hours in the morning to feed up and bed up everything. It's a bit more complicated than at home with the feeding. We've got 3 silage pits here with 3 different platforms of grass, so 3 different groups. So each shed, so there's 3 of these sheds. 1, 2, 3 down there. They're all identical. So if we take you in there, they're all exactly the same as this, with a feed passage, a scrape passage, and a bedding passage. And then the animals tend to stay down the far ends of them. And at the end, there's like an outer parlour feeder, which is called a green feed. I'll show you that in a minute. But each shed has its own silage pit. So this is the green shed, and the nearest pit on the end here, that's the green silage pit. So that food only ever gets fed to this shed and those animals. And then the animals in there after winter will be taken back home and put on the same fields that the silage is taken from, so they stay within their little farmlet. So we've got green, we've got blue, and we've got what we call brown, which is intensively reared indoors. So after weaning, they'll stay in on silage and barley diet, won't go back out. Blue is high clover content, so higher protein silage and grass, supposedly. And then green is permanent pasture. It's more of like a control what you'd find around here for the majority of the grassland. He's then also got his straw bay, so they've filled this right up with straw at the beginning of the winter. See, he's getting through it. It will probably have to have a couple trailer fulls from home before the winter's over. So every morning he pushes all the animals back, shuts them onto the bedding, scrapes them out with the Fergie, which must be around here getting filled up, scrapes them out, beds them up, and then feeds them all individually. And then it's all recorded, and Phil's just very good at that because he's very particular. So he is the man for that job. On the back of the sheds here, they've all got their own dung midden, so the dung all stays separate. And again, the dung that's produced out of this shed will go back onto the fields that produces their silage. So it's all kept within this one little farmlet. This is the green feed I was on about. It's like an outer parlour feeder. If you have a look in there, they've got a hopper on the top, which is full of sugar beet. You can press a button here to feed it manually, so that will drop a little bit of sugar beet down. And then the animals, like this curious guy here, they'll come and put their heads in, and then inside here there's a little analyzer. So they try and continuously feed the animal for 2 to 3 minutes, and whilst they're feeding, that little analyzer is taking samples of their breath as they're breathing to try and see how much methane the animals are giving off through their burping or whatever, just whilst they're breathing. So that's what they are. There's one for every shed. There's one there, one on that shed, and one on the end shed. I'm not too up to date with the data and how it all works. My dad did a very good job of explaining it all on our FarmFlix episode, so if you haven't seen that, you can go across to FarmFlix and have a look. The guys come and did some filming with us. But yeah, that's what they are.
It's Phil in his natural habitat.
Bear with. Whoa, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, because it's really awkward to move those round bales with my spikes, because the spikes are just too wide.
Too wide, yeah. No, I wouldn't worry about the bales.
No. Oh, I think that's a brilliant idea.
Hey, senpai.
Well, do you want this one then? Do that.
Oh, I can have a go.
And what I'll do is bring the truck in and hitch up.
Oh, and take that back?
Yeah, hitch up that one.
Yes. Right, I've been left in charge of the Fergie. Right, let's go get some bales. Right, so what I've just done here in the shed, brought a couple of square bales up just to make a bit of a bunker for some barley. We have been tipping it here against this wall, but all the weather comes from that direction, and you can see it gets it all damp and goes horrible and bad. So I think there is the place to do it. I might just get the bucket and drag all the rubbish back off the floor, and then we've got a nice clean slate to work with. Right, so I've left this ready now to grab some silage out in a minute. I just need to pull that piece of sheet back a bit because I don't want to be grabbing sheet. Not the aim of the game, is it? Yeah, this is what we call blue silage. It just looks like silage, but it's got a very high clover content. Got our little diddy grab. So we're going to tip this barley out now. That new little bunker we made. Worst thing about this farm is this ruddy grey trench in front of the pits. You bounce your brain out your skull going over that. I don't know how Phil puts up with that in the mornings, but jump back in the 155, back into that shed and tip that barley out. Phil's taken back the diesel Bowser. We don't keep any diesel here. We just bring the Bowser over to fill up once a week or whatever. So he's going to take the Bowser home on the truck, which he's doing. I'm going to take a load of silage home with me, and then I actually need to feed a load of sheep because they've run out of food with the silage we're taking back. Phil will then bring a load of distiller's grains over here, and he'll bring me back another load of silage for a different group of sheep, but they'll want feeding in the morning. But it's one of those running round type of jobs we do on a Friday before a weekend. So yeah, let's tip this barley out.
Right, one pile of barley. That pile there looks a lot bigger than what that trailer can hold now. But there it is.
So this is actually homegrown barley, and then we store it at a local mill. So we pay to have it stored, and then whenever we want some, we just ring them up. It's at a place called Cropmec. Ring them up, say we could do with some barley, and then they just charge us for rolling it, and then they bring it to us. So that works quite well.
Would just say Phil did that if anyone asks. I think I've got about a ton or so in there. We don't want to take too much back at a time because we don't want it going off. I know the weather's cold at the minute and it won't, but 3 times a week's enough. Strange experience going back to a loader tractor after a telehandler. I spend a lot of time in the winter in the telehandler doing all the feeding at home. Right, so I have a question which requires some user feedback from yourselves watching. Would you like to see more of what goes on here at Rowden and sort of into the science that is happening at North Wyke? The reason I ask is, a lot of you guys know Dr. Phil. Dr. Phil is my line manager here at North Wyke, and we discussed during my annual performance review a lot of what happens with my social media channels and how that can possibly tie into some of the work I do here at Rothamsted. And one of the suggestions that Phil came up with was perhaps doing some videos, maybe 1 a month or 2 a month, not 2 a week like we're doing on this channel. And in those videos going out and about with the guys on the science side of the farm and showcasing what they're doing, why they're doing it, how they're doing it, and just show you a bit more of really what is going on here at North Wyke other than the day-to-day farming that we're doing. So let me know if you think that's something you might want to see. It wouldn't be on this channel, it would either be on Rothamsted's own YouTube channel, or we'd make a new channel for it and keep the 2 things separate. But I am well aware I get more and more comments now as this channel is gaining popularity as to what is going on the farm, some of the experimental stuff, why we're doing it, and it was just a thing that me and Phil discussed. Well, it could be something we could do. So yeah, let me know down in the comments if that's something you would like to see. I mean, let me know in the comments if there's stuff on the farm you want to see. I'm always open to suggestions of what people want to see and do. Obviously, a lot of the stuff we do is the same throughout the year. We sort of follow the farming calendar, but I want to make the stuff and the videos as entertaining for you guys as possible. So yeah, shoot me some ideas in the comments. Right, we made it back. The big girl just about managed to handle this whopping load. Now the interesting thing about this trailer is obviously it's got a very small back door. If I try and tip that up like that, it's just going to get wedged. I know that. I know that from experience. Definitely didn't happen last time. So what we do is we just remove these pins, he says, nice and easily. This one here is on a chain, so I can't lose it, but that one I have to put in my pocket. Right, now I need to take this backboard off. Good job, it's only little really. And yeah, we'll tip this out against the wall. Right, and that's it all ready for Phil to go and get another load. Running. He's got past 1,000 subscribers now. Yeah.
Thank you everyone.
Do you want any more than that? That'll be right.
It's going for ages. Yeah. Click like, subscribe.
All that jazz.
All that jazz.
Right, so that is what a feed mixer looks like from above. Turns it all together. You might have seen the minerals fly in, I don't know. The only downside to these is that stuff does get stuck on the flight. There's a little bit of sugar beet on there from a mix I've done this morning. See the sugar beet there? But what we'll do is we'll go and feed it out, and then we'll stick it in the 1,000 speed PTO, rev it up a bit, and that will fling all that off of there. I just got everything parked up here in the silage pit, so there's big boots and the wagon ready for me tomorrow morning. We got another pile of silage here, so that's what Phil brought back on his return trip from the distiller's grains he took over. We've got a little bit of the blue silage left behind, so that'll be used tomorrow morning. Just when you got the 3 hay bales ready from the feeding tomorrow morning. I always try and prepare the weekend work on a Friday, so it's, you know, not as much to do on a weekend. I'm gonna go over to the other farm in a minute and feed up ready for the weekend. Phil's been in a meeting, so I've got to catch up with him and see if he wants a hand, and then we'll see what else is on before home time. Right, so we are over Rowden. I got something on my microphone with Phil. He's about to run me over. We're loading up the silage wagon. We're going to double feed all of our cows here. It's last thing Friday evening, or last thing Friday afternoon before the sun goes down. Because this weekend there's been a bit of a change around in staff for various reasons. And we're going to be a bit short-handed, so we're going to try and do as much here as we can now before the weekend. Right, this Friday afternoon is definitely a Friday afternoon, because this thing's giving us problems now.
One load left to do, and the oil pipe, you can see there, has split out.
Just chuck oil absolutely everywhere. Can't lift the loader off the ground. So managed to sort of get the grab off and get the tractor to there. So that's now going to have to be a Monday morning fix. It's a good job actually that we had the Manitou over here so we could continue doing the feeding. And we won't need a loader here for the weekend now. All we need to do is scrape out somehow, but we can do that with the bucket if we really have to, and then just wash it out.
So that's going to be a job to fix now on Monday.
What we will do is go and get the other loader tractor and bring here, just in case Phil, when he's bedding up, needs to get any more straw or whatever. He will bring a straw bale from home, but that's one of those things. I'm just heading back to Rowden now to pick up Phil, who's taking the other loader tractor over.
I just thought I'd show you fence of Phil's fencing. So he's fenced off this area where we run sheep down to various pens.
He's called Fencer Phil because he does a lot of fencing, and he does a blimmin' good job of it as well.
All up through here has been ripped out. He's got rid of all the tiny little horrible bushy things that have been trying to grow, and put a new fence in.
It was absolutely knackered there, that fence, and now it's looking quite good again. Okay, so now back at the home farm, I've just pushed in the food for all the cows here in the shed, and I'm heading home before anything else breaks on a Friday evening. But thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Loads of links down below for merch, other social links, all the equipment I use to make these videos that you're watching, and loads of other stuff. Head down there if you want. I'll see you on another video very soon. Cheerio.